This is why, like folks in the artificial intelligence space, Elon Musk and a few others speak about this, and they look at the long arc. They say like, what, this kind of, you can call it like first principles thinking, or you can call it anything. Really, is like if we just zoom out from our current bickering and our current like discussions and what science is doing, and look at the long arc of the trajectory we're headed at. Which questions are obviously fundamental to science,
Right.
and that should be asked, and which is the space of hypotheses we should be exploring? And like exoplanets is a really good example of one that was like an obvious one. I recently talked to Sarah Seeger, and it was very taboo when she was starting out to
That's
work
right.
on an exoplanet, and that was even in the 90s.
Yeah.
And like it's obvious should not be a taboo subject. And to me, I mean, I'm probably ignorant, but to me, exoplanets seems like it's ridiculous that would ever be a taboo subject.
Right.
To not fund, to not explore. That's very. But even for her, it's now taboo to say, like, what, to look for industrial pollution, right?
Right.
It's
And
like
I find that ridiculous. I'll
even
tell
she
you why.
can't take the next step.
It's ridiculous for another reason.
Yes.
Not because of just the scientific benefits that we might have by exploring it, but because the public cares about these questions.
Yes.
And the public funds science. So how dare the scientists shy away from addressing these questions if they have the technology to do it?
Mm-hmm.
It's like saying, I don't want to look through Galileo's telescope. It's exactly the same. You have the technology to explore this question, to find evidence, and you shy away from it. You might ask, why do people shy away from it?
Yes.
And perhaps it's because of the fact that there is science fiction. I'm not a fan of science fiction because it has an element to it that violates the laws of physics in many of the books and the films.
Magic.
And I cannot enjoy these things when I see the laws of physics violated. But who cares that the fact that there is science fiction? I mean, if you have the scientific methodology to address the same subject, I don't care that other people spoke nonsense about this subject or said things that make no sense. Who cares? You do your scientific work just like you explore the dark matter. You explore the possibility that Oumuamua is an artifact. You just look for evidence and try to deduce what it means. And I have no problem with doing that. To me, it sounds like any other scientific question that we have. And given the public's interest, we have an obligation to do that.
Yes.
By the way, science to me is not an occupation of the elite. It doesn't allow me to feel superior to other humans that are unable to understand the math. To me, it's a way of life. If there is a problem in the faucet or in the pipe at home, I try to figure out what the problem is. And with a plumber, we figure it out. And we look at the clues, and the same thing in science. You look at the evidence, you try to figure out what it means. It's common sense in a way, and it shouldn't be regarded as something removed from the public. It should be a reflection of the public's interest. And I think it's actually a crime to resist the public interest. If the public says, I care about this, and you say, no, that's not sophisticated enough for me. I want to do intellectual gymnastics on anti-de Sitter space. To me, that's a crime.
Yes, I 100% agree.